So hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucy and in today's video I want to give you 5 helpful tips that will help you read more books. So before we get started on this video, please do make sure you're subscribed to this channel, hit that big red button below. Anyway, let's get cracking on the 5 tips. So in terms of me as a reader, I am a bit of a professional reader in the sense that not only have I always read, I've always been a big reader, always been reading books basically. I went to university to study English where obviously you have to read a lot of books. I was reading perhaps like 2 to 3 books a week for my course. There was one week where I had to read the entirety of Shakespeare's sonnets, and that was kind of peak reading a lot, to be honest. My university degree definitely kind of trained me how to read a lot of books and basically taught me some helpful tips on how to introduce reading into your daily life. My current role, I work in book publishing as a book publicist, and whilst in publicity you don't have to, your job isn't reading, your job is promoting the books that you're working on, but you of course have to read the books that you're working on. So I often have to, in my own time, do a lot of work reading and kind of read manuscripts that are coming through for submission. So reading a lot is something I have to kind of balance. Because I do work full-time, I never usually read more than 5 books a month. So I would say like 4 to 5 books a month, a book a week is kind of where I'm at in terms of my reading. But I'm actually really happy about that. The fact is I work a very, very busy full-time job, so I often don't have time to do a load of reading outside of those hours. So I have to really make it count when I do have time to read. So let's get on with the tips, because I know that's why you clicked on this video, and I actually think that the tips here today are things that will just genuinely make you read more and hopefully make you enjoy reading more as well. So my first tip is to set yourself daily page goal challenges. So this is something I've done in a recent reading vlog where basically I wanted to read 80 pages in a day over the course of a week. So obviously start a lot smaller than that. If you're someone who really struggles to fit in reading during the day, then set yourself a challenge. Read 5 pages a day and just try to start small and work up to something bigger. So if you're like trying to fit in 5 pages a day, reading 5 pages might take you about 10 to 15 minutes maybe less if you're a fast reader. You can easily fit in 10 minutes, 15 minutes of reading a day, but you just have to have that conscious effort of thinking of it as a challenge that you can like tick off on your to-do list at the end of the day. I'm a very goal-orientated person, which means I love the feeling of ticking things off, of being productive, of meeting and exceeding challenges. So that is why recently I set myself the challenge of reading 80 pages every day for a week. And I ended up finishing one of my books on my TBR. So as I said, start small, start 5 pages in a day, work that up to 10 pages in a day, work that up to 50 pages in a day. And you will find that it becomes a habit and you're automatically thinking, okay, I've got to read my 5 pages. My second tip is to mix up your formats. So I often find that I'm a much quicker reader when I read ebooks. So on my TBRs every month, I try to make sure that I'm reading a mix of formats. So one of the benefits of reading across formats is you are adapting to how busy you are in a day. You are making the different formats work for you. So if you're kind of, commuting to work, then maybe read digitally on your phone, on the Kindle app, on your Kindle, or whatever e-reader you have. I also recommend audiobooks. I'm not a huge kind of listener of audiobooks just because when I do want to listen to something, I prefer it to be music or podcasts. But I know audiobooks work for a lot of people and it allows you to really kind of multitask on that. But reading across formats, knowing which format works for you in terms of when you're just feeling a bit reading slumpy and you're feeling like, I can't be bothered to read, then put on an audiobook. Get your e-reader out and you don't even really have to kind of turn the pages, you can just tap and it's so much easier. I also think mixing up formats just helps to I don't know, I think it makes the difference in terms of your reading experience. I find, as I said, I read much quicker on e-readers, but then when I have a physical book, I kind of allow myself to sink into that and really take the time to enjoy a physical book in my hands, you know? So reading across formats is a really easy way to read more pages in a day, and you will see the difference if you do try and mix up the formats that you're reading with. My third tip is to multitask. So this is one that honestly has kind of saved my reading, I think. So I recently read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and honestly I would recommend that book to anyone who wants to kind of think about their habits and how they can create more good ones and get rid of the bad habits. One thing he talks about is habit stacking. So this is when you go to do another habit. So you go to brush your teeth, for example. You do this every morning. You don't even have to think about it. You know, you wake up, you have a shower, you brush your teeth. That just is a normal pattern of behavior, I hope. But one thing about habit stacking is when you brush your teeth, why not do another habit when you're doing that habit? So you're stacking your habits on top of each other, making it easier to do what you want to do and kind of create good habits. So what I would recommend is introducing reading when you're doing your everyday chores, things that you don't even have to think about, your usual habits. So this could be reading for the few minutes that you're brushing your teeth. One of my favorite things to do is to bring a book into the bath. That means whenever I am bathing and kind of relaxing, I like to have maybe 2 or 3 baths a week. And that way, not only am I washing my body and kind of doing my self-care routine, so, you know, maybe putting on a face mask, maybe like shaving my legs, moisturizing, maybe like, you know, exfoliating, etc. But I always bring a book in the bath, because then I know for a good half an hour that I'm in that bath, I will be solidly reading for half an hour. Another positive about reading across formats is that habit stacking is even easier. So when you are going for a walk, when you're stacking the dishwasher, when you're, you know, eating whatever, you can listen to an audiobook perhaps. You know, that's so much easier, because then you can do all the things you need to get done whilst reading a book, and that is perfect and an easy way to fit reading into your day. So habit stacking and multitasking is a great way to get reading done. Often you don't even realize that you're reading. I know when I'm in the bath and I multitask by reading, it kind of just makes it a really enjoyable experience, and also kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone. My 4th tip is to make an experience out of reading. Make it a treat, make it a luxury thing, make it just an enjoyable thing that you look forward to every single day. What I like to do is every Sunday I try and have cozy reading days. What this means is I will make it an experience. I will light all the candles in the room. I will make the lighting really kind of like, you know, enveloping and lovely. I will get the blankets out. I will get a cup of tea or coffee, a snack, and put on like maybe a soundscape. Make it like a lovely experience. Like, make it something that you look forward to, make it cozy, make it smell good, you know, really kind of treat yourself as you're reading. And I think then you will look forward to it more, knowing that you get a bit of me time when you're reading. A part of this for me, I mentioned that I love to read in the bath. This is a similar situation. When I read in the bath, I go all out. I, you know, use my like really nice smelling like bath products. I like candles. I put on like a reading playlist. I go the whole hog, and it just makes it the best experience. You look forward to it. I know that as I'm filming this, it's Saturday, and I know tomorrow, Sunday, is gonna be my like ultimate self-care reading experience, and I'm so looking forward to that. If you can't fit in a whole kind of experience like that every day, then just do little things that make a difference. Make yourself a really nice cup of coffee whilst you sit down in the morning for 10 minutes with your book, or sit, you know, and read with all the windows open on a gorgeous sunny day. Like little things like that where you kind of romanticize your reading is a perfect way to get more reading done and to read more books. And finally, this kind of feeds into the habit stacking tip, but another great trick to read more books is to use a habit tracker. So I use an app for this. I use an app called Habit. It is really simple to use. When you've done your allocated amount of reading in a day, you just swipe across and it ticks it off, and it just feels so satisfying. So I've made reading a daily habit for me, and I include other things in that habit tracker, like exercising, like journaling, like meditation, getting ready every day, like putting makeup on and getting ready every day. I am slowly building all these habits, but I'm making reading a daily habit. Something that, just like exercise, just like, you know, getting ready, and just like meditation, I know it's an act of self-care when I read. I know it's a bit of me time, and I know that it is something that I really enjoy and I want to make time for. So using a habit tracker to keep you accountable, to make sure you can document your progress, and to slowly build a habit is really, really like successful. It's just a really great way of building that habit and to get more reading done. So guys, I really hope you've enjoyed these very simple, very easy tips that you can easily build into your daily life and will ultimately allow you to read more books. Do let me know if you have any other tips and tricks down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what your tips are to read more books, and don't forget to subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.